Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly and I am so glad you guys are here. I thought I'd do something not different. It's the same stuff I do all the time, but I'm excited to try some different makeup. It's a weird thing seeing myself in the monitor when this is what's going on. Let me bring you up to speed and then we'll talk about what we've got today. A while back, had made an order from Beauty Bay, and I'd ordered a bunch of Makeup Revolution stuff. Makeup Revolution London. Beauty Bay is actually is a European brand. UK, I think, maybe. Yeah, I don't think Britain is EU anymore. Sorry. Here I am. I'm not a news channel. Anyway, these things are so cute. This is the Rose Hip Regenerating Essence Spray, the Hyaluronic Acid Hydrating Essence Spray, and the Superfruit Replenishing Essence Spray. On days that I'm filming, especially if I'm filming multiple looks and I'm taking my makeup off in between, I don't always go back and do like the original skincare, the original moisturizers, and I have typically dry, aging, mature skin, and I usually use a serum, a moisturizer, those types of things, in order for me to not feel like my skin is parched. On days that I'm filming multiple looks, I've already had that on, it's already soaked in, but when I take it off with a little micellar water, I'll sometimes go back in with just a couple squirts of each of these on my face, sometimes even fanning it in between just so that they dry down. And my skin does not feel dry, does not feel tight. I actually really do like it. If you guys have similar skin and are interested in it, it's actually very light and refreshing to just kind of spritz your face, especially if you're having like a personal summer moment. That's always kind of fun to like cool down just a little bit. Anyway, I did scribble on some eyebrows. I do have a little bit of the ABH eyeshadow base on their eye primer. I went with the smallest amount that I could get on there because I want to do kind of a little bit more, hopefully, of a color story that I want to pop a little bit more than I usually do. But because I picked up one of these e.l.f. Camo powder foundations, I thought we'd try it. I don't know how this is going to look on my skin. I honestly don't. I'll have to see. I don't even know if I got the right shade, but that's the package. I'm not really sure. So it comes with one of these little spongy thingies. I don't really care for those. So let me grab like a foundation brush. This is a super dense foundation brush. This is actually from Morphe. I'm gonna grab this. This could either go really wrong or it could be just perfectly fine. Wow. Okay, hold on. I don't know what is going on here. Let me scoot you in. Okay, I don't know if you can really tell, but I just basically did just a little swipe of this all over my skin and it totally toned down all the discoloration. I'm actually super impressed. My skin was dry. It was completely dry to the touch and I did not go on over with any primer on top of it. So I was a little concerned that, oh yeah, I'm using a powder foundation. How's that gonna work on my skin? And as I'm applying it, apparently rather well. Okay, now that I've got this on, and I've done a little bit of buffing, boy, that actually might be, I'm just gonna go over this little sun damage here. Yeah, it covered so well, that sun damage. Let's look with a little bit closer of a mirror. This mirror is really dirty. You know what? I'm not seeing any patchy or cakiness. I mean, my skin looks matte. It looks matte and it looks pretty well covered. Now I do still have the darkness underneath my eyes. We're gonna go in with a little cream concealer to fix that, but for the tone, it's maybe a little flat. It's maybe a little neutral. What shade did I get here? This one is in Light 250W. I think it's okay. This is the Dose of Colors concealer in shade 16. Let's just see. Okay, so initially I would have thought, oh, well, I'm using a powder foundation. I probably shouldn't use I should probably stick to powder products, right? Powder blush, powder bronzer, contour, that type of thing. But now I'm half wondering how the new e.l.f. blushes are gonna look on top of this. The concealer actually went really well over the top of that foundation. I mean, I had to bump it up here, bump it up against the foundation. So far, so good. I'm gonna be in some natural light today. I don't want people to be staring at my makeup. All right, e.l.f. playing with some new products and I don't mind that at all. I think that might be actually really well for, I'm sensing that it's something that could be really well if you are going through any kind of personal summer moment and you need something to kind of soak it up a little bit. Maybe if you're gonna be outside and you're gonna be damp. We're just gonna let that go because I actually kind of like it. Hello, husband.
Hi.
Okay, I'm gonna take, this is from the Jade Cat Masterclass. This is their darkest palette. And I used this recently as a kind of contour, and I was like, wait, I've got cheekbones. So we're gonna try this over the top of that powder foundation and see how it performs. So far, it is not picking up the foundation from what I can tell. This one's probably too warm for my complexion. Some people are really, really specific. I'm not a professional makeup artist. So for me, good enough is okay. Here's the thing. We want to look like we're polished and put together, but we're not here to look like mannequins, right? There's ladies of a certain age, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like we're the time where we were trying to be too perfect. That's gone. That ship has sailed. We're never gonna be as young as we are today, ever again. I'll let that sink in for a second. Okay, this is actually working pretty good with that foundation. And I feel like I'm getting some structure back to my face again. Kind of wish this shade was maybe a slightly less warm, but it's actually working for what I want it to do. So we're just gonna kind of give ourselves an instant diet here. I think there's times that I think, well, if I just were to lose a bunch of weight, maybe I wouldn't need the tips and tricks with the makeup. But I don't need that kind of extra pressure on myself right now. It is what it is. Yeah, the only thing is I want to grab a little bit of this kind of lightest shade right here and just take it right here on the bridge of my nose. It's not too stark, but because I did just the littlest bit of contouring, I need to have that lighten up here a little bit, and I do still have those marks from my glasses. Yeah, that's okay. The nose contouring thing, I mean, I try, but Bobby Brown would say you don't even need to do that. That you should just accept your features where they are. Okay, I picked up 2 of the new Putty blushes. These are a Luminous Putty blush, and the reason why I wanted to try it on top of this powder foundation is the powder foundation is so matte, so flat, so maybe we need a little bit of juiciness back in the skin. I don't know. I didn't mind the other Putty blushes, so when it said Luminous, I'm like, for summer we can do some Luminous. So I picked it up in Belize, which is this one right here, and Bermuda, which is kind of like the darker color. I think I'm gonna actually I'm gonna use the darker color. One of them's a little bit more corally. No, maybe I'll use both. I'll probably end up using both. Actually, I think I'm gonna start with the Belize, which is a little bit more of the corally color. Okay, it does say that these are infused with argan oil and vitamin E. Using the Putty blush, brush, or clean fingers, gently pat blush over the apples of your cheeks and continue patting to blend in. All right, I didn't bring in one of the Putty blush brushes, but I do have another brush that's very similar. So this is that shade. Let's just pick some up with a brush here. Sheer is right. Sheer wash of color. Okay, definitely on the luminous side. Yeah, that's pretty. I don't know if you can you guys really even tell? So here it is without it. Here it is with it. Just a little bit of a sheen. I think I am going to use that darker color though, up a little higher on my temple. So I've tried patting it on, and I'm trying here just kind of buffing it on. They both seem to be blending in well with that J-Cat contour. Yeah, I mean, it gives you that little bit of a luminous glow and a subtle blush look. Yeah, I can see actually using that with maybe just bare skin too. Let's go into the darker shade. This one's Bermuda, and we're gonna take a little bit of Bermuda up here. This is not the right, I could have used the e.l.f. Putty brush, and I chose not to at the last minute here. So I'm just kind of going over the top of it. It does seem to be building up. Yeah, question is how long will this stay on? I do have to go outside. I've got a little bit of a drive, and then, like I said, we're gonna be in a little bit of a venue tonight. I like the color. Yeah, it's super subtle. It's actually really pretty. I want to put some of this, they look so similar. Like when I keep getting them confused because they do look very, very similar. So those are the 2 shades together. This one's just slightly more orangey and this one's slightly more pink. Just one a little bit warmer and one a little bit cooler. I thought this was going to be much more richer based on the color underneath, but I don't think it is. I think you just have either with these 2. And again, I got Belize and now I can't remember. Belize and Bermuda? Yeah, I got Belize and Bermuda. Yeah, it's fine. I'm okay with it. Let's get into the star of the show. This is a Morphe 18V Vava Bloom palette. I picked this up at the same time I got that other Bloomin' palette from Morphe. I want to think I posted that video maybe last month. This is the palette. It's pink on this and a little bit more corally on this. So what do we get when we open it up? Largely pink palette. Heavily, heavily pink and pretty. I've got a little pop of orange in what I'm wearing today. So I'm actually going to try to make this pink palette work for a little bit of an orange outfit today. I know that seems kind of strange. Why would I do this? Because I really wanted to use this palette, A. And B, because I've actually had pretty good luck of taking a look that's a little bit more on the pink side and shifting it warmer. We're gonna try that trick today and see if we can get it to work. So I'm gonna grab this matte down here on the bottom. And they give you a sleeve that has the name on it, but the names are printed on there and it's very difficult to read it. I think this one's called Gimme. I don't know if I'll be able to do a very good job of telling you guys what shades they are. And that is a mauve pink shade. Okay, should I scoot you guys in or should we just leave you at a distance here? I'm just gonna leave you back. Recently I was using the Laura Lee Nudie palette, and just in comparison, that one has hardly any kick up. This Morphe palette, very similar to a lot of, well, it's the same formula I'm seeing so far with other Morphe palettes. There's just a lot of kick up. So be prepared to that, neither here nor there. Sometimes I just go back in and pick up the kick up for my next look. Okay, I'm gonna take this brown right here. It's kind of a mid-tone brown. And that one is called Trust. And we're gonna trust the process. I have trust issues with the process, you guys. So even though I started with the pink, by working that brown into the crease and a little bit above, that's certainly warmed that up. I guess that's our question is, can we combine cool tone pinks to create a cohesive look that's not like a full-on sunset look? Because I'm not really doing sunset. Part of me feels like I'm going to end up with too much eyeshadow on today. I should go into the smaller brush, huh? Okay, let me grab a little bit smaller brush here. I want to take this shade right here, which still has a little bit of that plummy color, but it almost leans a little bit more brick. So we'll use that out here on the edge of that lash line and then just try to lift it up a little bit. Yeah, I didn't plan this very well. I thought for sure this palette was going to have a little bit more on the orange tones just based on the cover. Can't judge a palette by its cover, right? That was bad on me. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not totally disappointed because I wanted to use this palette. Otherwise, I would have described a different palette and started using that. I wanted to use this palette and I thought, you know what? Can we get what we want out of it still? Because that's kind of what we do on this channel, right? We look at a palette and think, can we get multiple looks from the same palette? Is it going to work with our lifestyle and our wardrobe? I'm going to take a shimmer over the lid again, just like I normally do. So normally do when I'm not working. I wear a lot more mattes when I'm working, occasionally a slight shimmer, but we're going into this copper color right over here. That shade is going to be called Goddess. Let's see if Goddess is going to give me what I want. If right, I'm putting a lot, I'm going back over it a bunch of times because it has a little bit of a thinner formula. It doesn't feel quite as packed and creamy as some of the other shimmers I've used lately. It's pretty, it's just not giving quite as much saturation as I was hoping for. I'm not saying I'm disappointed, you guys. Please don't get that wrong. I don't get anything in PR. Nothing is, they didn't pay me to do this video. I'm not sponsored, I'm not affiliated. I'm just here giving you my honest opinion. And I'm kind of almost thinking that shade might work a little bit better if I would have gone in on a damp brush, like a damp packer brush. But I do think that works with the kind of purpley pinky colors too. It kind of warms it up. So it's not like a full-on pink eyeshadow. It's not a full-on orange eyeshadow. I think I'm gonna grab this shade right here in the corner. It is called Bloom. Finger's not like the cleanest. See, that's a different formula. That's a little bit more creamier and opaque, a little bit more than it would be. So I think maybe that Goddess shade is maybe a little bit more more of a topper, or I hard-hand it just by using it. That's entirely possible too. Yeah, that's gonna work just fine for what I'm doing today. Okay, let me clean up a little bit down here because that's fat fingers. That's not necessarily eyeshadow traveling on its own. That's me not knowing what I'm doing. I feel like it got just slightly patchy, but that's actually working just fine. Let me put some mascara and I'll be right back. Okay guys, mascara's on, feeling very much more put together and a little bit more of what I was going for with today's look. Yeah, that's okay. Liner really fast. I'm gonna just use a Morphe Sweet Tea. I think that's what this is. And I didn't get a new lipstick to use. Or I did, but I didn't grab one. And while I didn't use a face full of a single brand, they're working well together. Okay, let me grab, I'm just gonna use this. This is one of those milky gloss from NYX. This one's a little bit more peachy. Yeah. Love that. Just, it's not too saturated. I've been wearing so many matte lips lately. All of a sudden, I'm falling in love with my lips again. You can say that. Throw a little Rcma. Oh, my hair is getting messy here. Throw a little Rcma setting powder. Okay, little setting powder. Did it take up some of that blush? I'm gonna put a little bit more on it. I'm taking the darker shade. We're gonna throw a little bit more blush on the top. Do you ever do that? Do you like layer your product? You guys all do. I know you do. I know you don't do it perfectly the first time. I can't be the only one that doesn't do it perfectly the first time. You guys, I am actually, I love the way my makeup looks. I have zero issues at all. I'm excited. I didn't put on any, eyeliner. Setting spray. I think it's a little warm today, so we'll go figure it out. All right, guys, that's it for today. This is the Vava Bloom palette from Morphe. Relatively new. I didn't even know that he came out with it until I saw it in Ulta. I guess I've fallen off of Morphe's, you know, like release list. I don't know why. I do a lot of their videos, but they don't pay me, so what's the point? But anyway, this is actually a cute palette. 18 shades. Do you need it? I think you get a variety, right? You have the variety for largely pink toned. Can you get away with some work looks? Yeah. Could you get some date nights? Yeah. Could you do some fun daytime looks? Like today? This is kind of a pretty fun daytime look. I wish you guys nothing but love and happiness. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.